Chris here from metabolicmen.com, where we bring you 100% research-backed men's health advice. Now today, by popular demand, we're doing a video on intermittent fasting and the reality of intermittent fasting for your male hormonal health. Now, recently, intermittent fasting has become extremely popular, the fitness world, the health world, and that's for good reason. It's actually an awesome tool to use in your arsenal, basically. So today I'm going to talk about 5 little-known benefits, things that people actually don't focus on because they haven't really looked at, but why it is a very good tool for your male hormonal health. Now, I want to start this off with a caveat, though. I don't think it is for everyone. I do think that a lot of people can benefit from it for many reasons, and we'll talk about these reasons in this video. However, there are certain psychological or more mental reasons why people probably wouldn't benefit from this, especially if you have more neurotic tendencies, or if this intermittent fasting might fuel eating disorder tendencies, that kind of thing for people. So you just have to know yourself. If that sounds like you, then maybe you don't want to do it. Also, if people are hypothyroid, to cure hypothyroid, it would be in a better interest to not do intermittent fasting, or to not fast as often, maybe not daily fast. And instead opt for eating more of a diet like Ray Peat would recommend, which you can check out over if you Google Ray Peat. That is the caveat. But intermittent fasting, don't get it twisted. Intermittent fasting is awesome, and I've personally fasted every single day. Basically, but just by skipping breakfast, nothing crazy. I've fasted every single day for almost 9 years now, and I credit intermittent fasting with being one of the tools in my toolbox that has helped me to increase my testosterone levels to high range, but also to negate some of the negative effects that I had with my pituitary tumor in the first place, in the earlier years. So intermittent fasting deserves a lot of credit, and it's actually just a really good tool to use. It shouldn't be something that you obsess about, but it should be something that you can use for lifestyle purposes and for some health purposes, which I'm going to talk about here in like 5 seconds. So what are those health purposes? First off, there are a lot of people out there that say that intermittent fasting doesn't increase testosterone. There's actually a study right here, we're going to put up on the screen, that shows that intermittent fasting in non-obese men, so they looked at both obese and non-obese. So intermittent fasting in non-obese men actually increased LH production by 67% on a short-term fast, which is massive. And LH is the signaling to produce testosterone from your pituitary gland. It increased LH signaling by 67% on one short-term fast, and increased testosterone production by 180% in one short-term fast. So you can see that this is obviously an acute study, because typically they study acute time periods. They can't sit and study someone for a year. But with this acute study, you can see that if you were to do short-term fasts more regularly, you can have a cumulative effect, and you can positively influence your LH signaling and your testosterone production in your body. So that's number 1. All right, number 2, testosterone is actually positively correlated with insulin sensitivity. Now, because of this, it's smart to skip breakfast, and here's why. Your body's circadian cycle has a natural cortisol spike shortly after waking, and this happens to be the time when most individuals eat breakfast. With fit or somewhat fit individuals, the insulin spike with the food intake and the levels of circulating cortisol at this time of day actually leads to a rapid drop in blood glucose afterwards, so that this triggers what's known as false hunger, usually causing the individual to subsequently consume more calories than necessary. So by skipping breakfast, you're actually regulating your blood glucose, insulin, and cortisol levels at the time of day when they are all the most sensitive. All right, number 3. So intermittent fasting actually gives you a period of time every day. For example, if you skip breakfast and have your first meal at lunch, it gives you a period of time every day where you're using body fat as fuel. If you have excess body fat, it's typical that with that excess body fat along comes increased insulin resistance, as well as higher SHBG levels, which is sex hormone binding globulin, which is what binds to androgens and makes them basically inactive, as well as higher estrogen levels. So by having a period of time throughout the day, every single day, that consistently you can use that extra fat tissue for fuel, and you can flush those minor toxins out of your body, you're giving yourself a leg up in terms of the hormonal health benefits. All right, number 4. Intermittent fasting has been shown to increase levels of a hormone called adiponectin. In fact, adiponectin is so powerful at influencing your insulin levels that there was a study showing that it can actually reverse insulin resistance. All right, and last but not least, here's a study showing that with just one 24-hour fast, growth hormone levels were increased by 2,000%. And for those of you that know, growth hormone is another anabolic hormone and is definitely something that you want to optimize and you don't want at an unhealthy level, either too much or too little. But most people have unoptimized growth hormone levels, and basically by having a regular fast throughout your day, you can actively push your growth hormone levels up. And this is why also fasted training is potentially a good idea, because you can take advantage of that anabolic priming while you're fasting. Now, there you have it. Those are 5 benefits of intermittent fasting that no one talks about. Usually people are more concerned with vanity stuff like getting ripped abs and stuff, but here on Anabolic Men we like to focus on the health, we like to focus on the research. And intermittent fasting, while not for everyone, is actually an awesome tool to use if you enjoy it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, go to anabolicmen.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. And I'll see you on the next video.